All right, now to our first discussion this morning, technology enhances human abilities by extending our physical and mental capabilities, making our tasks faster, easier, and more efficient. By combining innovation with the focus on human needs, technology empowers us to live healthier, safer, and more productive lives by transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and improvement. Now, join us via Zoom for this conversation is a product designer and founder TAPS, Dami Ojetunji. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us on the program.
Morning.
Now,
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Now, identifying problems and solutions are key variables in human development. What everyday problems can technology help to solve in the country?
Thank you again for having me. I think that's a great question. Technology can solve real life problems, especially when it's dealt with real life context and not just assumptions, right? There are very small practical ways that I feel like technology can improve our day-to-day life. So from things like digital banking to helping people send money in minutes, to reducing wait times with like health tech and ride-hailing platforms, to improving transportation, especially in areas with like very low infrastructure or poor infrastructure. They're not just tech solutions, they're responses to like real life needs, time, access, safety, and so much more.
Very interesting. And how can technology make daily tasks at home and in office more efficient and convenient?
Awesome. Like I mentioned before, with tools like digital banking, I feel like everyone every day uses some form of bank app to make transfers. Technology can, simplify the entire process, reduce the number or the amount of time you spend on the app to like send money, or things like using ride-hailing platform. You're trying to get from place A to place B. You can use a ride-hailing app to, get to wherever you need to be. There are a couple of other strong examples, right? So I feel like they're very simple day-to-day stuff that you can use, tech to do, both in personal lives and in the office.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer so far, But I want to start from the beginning. What does innovation mean to you, and how is your organization TABS doing that, or making people's lives easier?
Awesome, thank you. So in my opinion, innovation isn't always about building something new. It's basically about identifying friction in the day-to-day life by using technology to remove or reduce said friction, right? So it can be as simple as making it easier to perform basic services, or as complex as rethinking the entire user flow of how like an industry operates. What really matters the most is the outcome. Are people's lives easier? Are they safer? Are they more efficient, right? With TAB, we're mostly tailored to product teams. So we're helping product teams do things like research, right? One of the biggest hurdle about working for African products or designing African products is finding research that reflects the day-to-day. You would find that apps in our side of the world or in our part of the world is very different. There's a very huge difference between apps we use here and apps we would experience in like Silicon Valley, for example. So TABS is bringing research, making research easier for the designers on the team, for engineers, for product managers, for founders, just being able to see real life examples, see real life application of products outside of the world and actually learning from it and building actually useful solutions.
Very interesting development of what you just said. You are the founder of TABS and you're product designer. Tell us some of this product that you have done that is empowering young Nigerians to tap into it.
Awesome. One of the cool things is I have, worked in very interesting industries. So, for example, one of my interesting roles to date was working for a cybersecurity and compliance automation platform, which outside of the world, again, it wasn't like something that was very, common. So I had to do a lot of research. Apart from that, I partner with a team that designed a LLM platform, so like ChatGPT, but for finance and stocks, right? So if you're a newbie interested in finance, interested in buying stocks, you can go there and ask them, oh, what's this thing doing? What's the rate for the last 5 years? And I think that's been very interesting, right? So I feel like from my point of view, learning all those things I've learned in industries I wasn't familiar with, I feel like giving back to the newbies and new people coming into the industry. I think I feel like that's how it works.
Mm-hmm. I believe that you've been in the tech industry, just as you have said, for quite a number of years. I want to ask that what mistakes have you seen that other product designers like yourself make, and what do you think is the solution for Nigerians now, not just for the global audience?
Awesome, thank you. I think one of the biggest solution, and it's one of the major things I'm trying to, solve with tabs, is just a lack of context, right? Like I mentioned earlier, you would find our products in our side of the world, it's very different, right? It could be more simpler. It could use very simple languages, it could use very simple colors. They're very important accessibility needs that we consider in products in our side of the world, right? So one of the greatest mistakes I made, especially as a new designer, was just assuming everything that works for person A would work for person B, right? Not necessarily considering like the nuances and the context, right? So I feel like those are the mistakes. In general, I think it's just access to resources, access to conversations like this, right? Just to understand that there's more beyond, just moving things on Figma, for example. And yes, I hope that answers that question.
Absolutely. How cost efficient are some of these designs that you have made? There are two questions. The second one is how has technology changed the way we communicate and connect with others?
Sorry, can you take the first question again?
The first question is how cost efficient are some of these designs that you have made, and how has technology helped in shaping the way we communicate and connect with others?
Awesome. Cost efficient, I'm not sure how to answer that question, but in the reality of things, good design is expensive. I hope that's what you mean. Good design is expensive, especially when you're considering the real life stuff, right? So like I mentioned, there's a lot of consideration, especially when it comes to research, when it comes to competitive analysis, which is basically like comparing and contrasting successful products, failed products, and stuff like that. But in the real life, good design is expensive. It's not exactly cost efficient. For the second question, I feel like tech has changed our day-to-day. It has made communication faster, easier, but also noisier, right? So we've gone from sending letters via like bus transports to sending messages in seconds, to even having a call like this, right? So one thing I feel like technology has changed is how accessible communication has become. People who couldn't speak now can use assistive tools. People in remote areas can literally join in global communication. Language barriers are being broken down. And as a designer, I have been able to see a very important way, very unique way to simplify, that communication, right? Of course, there are downsides. People are more connected, sometimes less present, we're multitasking, we're sending more messages. But now the challenge is, how do we solve this problem? How do we solve it well? And yeah, I feel like technology has really improved things.
Absolutely. It's a fine place to leave it. Founder, tabs and product designer, Dami Ojetunji, many thanks for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.